In today's show, institutional money may propel Bitcoin to $250,000 in 1 year's time, says macro investor Raoul Pal. That's right, he says the latest Bitcoin rally is just the beginning of an institutional investor-led bull market. As he breaks down in this interview with Cointelegraph, he goes on, Bitcoin may hit $150,000 by November 2021. And then he goes on to share that it would be the most conservative scenario. Pal believes that Bitcoin could even reach $250,000 due to the large amount of institutional money currently flowing into the Bitcoin market. I'll be giving you all the highlights from this exclusive interview with Cointelegraph right here in today's show. And as Robert Kiyosaki points out, Raoul Pal, CEO of Real Vision, called for Bitcoin to hit $1 million by 2025. If Raoul was not so credible, I would not pay attention to his predictions. He also calls for gold to hit $5,000 in the same period. Good news for gold, silver, Bitcoin. Bad news for the world economy. Take care. Also in today's episode, Bloomberg lists 5 bullish trends for Bitcoin price despite the recent Thanksgiving crash. Also in today's episode, we'll be doing some Bitcoin technical analysis as Bitcoin analyst explains what's next in the aftermath of the recent Bitcoin plunge to 16,200. I'll be breaking down both the bullish and bearish scenario. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin and all the major altcoins are pumping once again, but where's the Bitcoin price likely to go from here? Find out all this plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. So be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right. And turn on all notifications to receive daily premium Crypto News Alerts every single day, including weekends, just like this. And before I kick off today's show, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below the video in the description. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. Lots to discuss today, but let's kick it off by diving into today's top story. Institutional money may propel the Bitcoin price to $250,000 in 1 year's time, says macro investor Raoul Pal. That's right, and I'll include this exclusive interview between Raoul Pal and Cointelegraph in the show notes below the video in the description. Now for some of the highlights. Bitcoin may hit $150,000 by November 2021, according to Raoul Pal, the founder and CEO of Global Macro Investor and Real Vision, and that would be the most conservative scenario. Pal believes that Bitcoin could even reach $250,000 due to the large amount of institutional money currently flowing into the Bitcoin market. Let me know if you agree or disagree with his bullish price predictions. Now, according to Pal, that is what makes the latest Bitcoin rally fundamentally different from 2017's crypto bubble, which is believed to have been driven mainly by retail investors. According to Pal, most of Bitcoin's additional supply is currently being absorbed by PayPal, Square, which recently adopted crypto services, as well as Grayscale. He believes that the resulting supply squeeze is the catalyst for Bitcoin's latest surge. I agree, because once PayPal made that announcement about a month ago, the market has been going parabolic. We climbed to almost $20,000, reclaiming that all-time high before flash crashing back down to 16,200. But guess what? We just bounced back and currently above 17,000. He goes on to share, I've never seen a market with this supply and demand imbalance before, Pal said, pointing out to the macroeconomic factors that are playing in Bitcoin's favor. Despite the news of the coronavirus vaccine sparking hopes of a quick economic recovery, governments will likely need to release additional monetary stimulus to sustain their economies. That, according to Powell, will lead to a devaluation of fiat. He believes that this, together with low interest rates, will propel Bitcoin's price to new highs. He goes on to share, it's life-changing. No other asset has an upside of 5x, 10x, 20x in a short space of time. He stated, he's right, in which other asset class do you have the potential to 5, 10, or even 20x in such a short period of time? There exists none. Bitcoin has so much more upside potential than anything remotely close to it, including gold. The upside potential for gold is what, as I shared in yesterday's show, maybe $5,000 if you're lucky, whereas with Bitcoin, we're talking about a $1 million Bitcoin price potentially before the end of this cycle in 2024, maybe even stretched out the following year as the market tends to go parabolic the year preceding the halving, so let's say 2025, whereas with gold, maybe you can double. With Bitcoin, we're talking about 20x being a realistic possibility, just saying. And as rich dad Robert Kiyosaki points out, Raoul Pal, the CEO of Real Vision, called for Bitcoin to hit $1 million by 2025. If Raoul was not so credible, I would not pay much attention to his predictions. He also calls for gold to hit $5,000 in the same period. Good news for gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Bad news for the world economy. Take care. And that's coming directly from Rich Dad himself. And as Dan Held points out, it's the final world reserve currency, BTC. And these memes just straight up crack me up on crypto Twitter. Peter Schiff, good luck with the 2x. I'll keep dollar cost averaging. That's right. Then, of course, we still have the Bitcoin trolls and haters. This guy, Ben Roger, wrote, "Too bad Bitcoin is a scam and useless. 7,500 cryptos already do the same thing. Is he going to eat his what if he is wrong on both calls?" Then Sean points out right here, well, this crypto scam has been outperforming my gold since March. And as Dean points out right here, it's been outperforming it a lot longer than that. That's right. Bitcoin has been outperforming gold for the past decade, and it will continue to outperform gold for the following decade. That's because Bitcoin is a better version of gold than gold itself. That's a fact. All right, and before I break down our next story of the day, Bloomberg lists 5 bullish trends for Bitcoin's price despite the recent Thanksgiving crash. Let's first take a look at the overall crypto market. It's good to see Bitcoin back above 17,000, up 2% for the day, trading just above 17,100. We have Ethereum up 2%, trading at $519. XRP pumping once again, up about 7%, trading at 56 cents. We have Cardano up a whopping 15%, trading at 15.5 cents. Stellar Lumens also up about 15%, trading just below 21 cents. So as you can see, a sea of green once again, and it's the weekend. So exciting times ahead. I'd love to see Bitcoin continue this bullish momentum, regain that $18,000 resistance, flip it into a support, and march towards that $20,000 all-time high. I am still very confident that we will reach price discovery mode before the end of this year, as I've been calling right here on the show all year. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Bitcoin continues to convert some of its harshest traditional critics from mainstream finance, as Bloomberg admits that this bull run is nothing like 2017. That's right, because it's not. In an article on November 27th, the publication, known for its pessimism, highlighted a range of Bitcoin metrics pointing to a bullish future despite Thursday's $3,000 price rout. All right, now for the 5 bullish trends according to Bloomberg. This includes as evidence were record high Bitcoin futures open interest, non-zero wallet numbers, hash rate, and the lack of correlation between Bitcoin and other macro assets. Just look at the market technicals and Wall Street's growing embrace of the world's biggest digital currency. It began. And while the trading doesn't always run smoothly, the $315 billion digital coin is far deeper and more liquid than it was during last boom in 2017. I also like to point out that just a few days ago, the Bitcoin market cap reached an all-time high of $360 billion, surpassing the world's largest banks, including the largest banks in China, as well as in America, which is like JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, etc. Bloomberg referenced what it describes as crypto diehards who reject the idea that the current price gains are another bubble. That's right. How many diehards we have right here? How many hodlers? Drop me a comment right down below. Among them was regular Cointelegraph contributor Maddie Greenspan. He says, it's different now. The last time we saw Bitcoin get this high, the blockchain was so close to collapsing, but the network has had improvements since then. A separate interview with Bloomberg TV on Friday, meanwhile, saw Antonio Trenchev, the CEO of the world's biggest crypto lender, Nexo, forecast Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high by the end of 2020. That means this year, as I predict. The digital gold narrative is stronger than ever. If Bitcoin captures just 10% of the total market cap of gold, we will be at $50,000 in no time. That's a fact. Now let's keep in mind that the gold market cap is currently sitting just above 9 trillion, with the Bitcoin market cap just above 315 billion. So we have a long ways to go, but as he points out, just 10% would drive the Bitcoin price to $50,000. Now, if you're excited to see a $50,000 Bitcoin price, holla at your boy. And as you can see right here, secure futures, increased derivatives trading makes Bitcoin easier to hedge. Bloomberg highlights Bitcoin futures open interest among its bullish signals. Next up, the Bitcoin macro performance smothers gold. That's right. The lack of criticism contained in this article echoes growing acceptance of Bitcoin as a genuine asset, whether investment interest is coming from retail or institutional circles. That's right, because part of cryptocurrency's positive image stems from its now 8-month growth spurt versus its March crash, during which it had consistently outperformed other macro assets even after its retreat to $17,000. Bitcoin's year-to-date returns stand at a whopping 135%. Against 19% for gold and 12% for the S&P 500. Data comes from analytics resource SKU, and they confirmed it. In the case of gold, Mike McGlone, the Bloomberg intelligence chief strategist, who has long diverged from the broader narrative to be fully bullish on the king of all crypto, believes that institutions will continue to pile into the crypto going forward. He goes on to share, is Bitcoin replacing gold? Futures and fund flows are saying yes. Rising futures open interest and investor inflows in Bitcoin versus the same declining for gold indicate the cryptocurrency gaining an edge for price appreciation in our view, he tweeted earlier this week. McGlone subsequently added that gold would likely see a rebound next year, with the precious metal favorably tilted towards regaining $2,000. Dipping into support layers towards the end of November should provide a foundation for further gold price gains, he wrote on Friday, where the upside potential for Bitcoin, according to the Stock to Flow X model, is $100,000 by the end of next year, as well as a $288,000 Bitcoin price medium average between the years 2020 and 2024. All right, and before I break down our next story of the day, as Bitcoin analysts explain what's next in the aftermath of Bitcoin plunging to 16,200, and we do some Bitcoin technical analysis, and I provide both the bearish and bullish case scenarios. But first, let's take a look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting at $513 billion with $151 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, and current Bitcoin dominance, according to CoinMarketCap, is 62.2%. And now checking out the top gainers within the top 100, we have Numeraire up 18%, trading above 31 bucks. We have ABC coin up about 5%, trading at 23 cents. Neem up almost 13%, trading just above 18 cents. Decred up about 14%, trading at $22.54. And Loopring up 15%, trading at 19.3 cents. Now checking out the biggest losers within the top 100, we have Energy Web Token down 8%, trading at $5.78. Kusama down 5%, trading at $44.65. We have Holo down about 2%, trading at 0.0005. And Elron down 2%, trading at $8.70. Now, out of this list of losers and gainers, which altcoins in particular are you most bullish on? Drop me a comment right down below. Now, checking out the Binance margins, we can see the bears are in control, leading with 52.5% shorts versus 47.5% longs. Are you currently bullish or bearish on the king of all crypto? Holla at your boy. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated an 87 in extreme greed. Yesterday was an 86. Last week, a 91 in extreme greed. And last month, a 67 in greed. Now, if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, like we've been witnessing more recently in the market, that means the market is due for a correction. And like clockwork, that's precisely what just happened. All right, and before we dive deep and do some Bitcoin technical analysis, and I provide both the bullish and bearish case scenario for the Bitcoin price, first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 600 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also, some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including the blog to my podcast, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button right below this video to receive daily crypto news alerts just like this. You can also follow us on all the major podcasting platforms, from Spotify, the home of the Joe Rogan Experience, to Apple's iTunes. You can also follow me on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. My Twitter handle is Crypto News Yes. And for those of you active on Facebook, I do have a private crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy. To join it, click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. And for those of you active on Telegram, I do have a private crypto Telegram chat. To join it, click this link. You'll automatically be added, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. All right, now let's break down our final story of the day. The price of Bitcoin dropped sharply on November 26th following a mass sell-off from whales. Data from on-chain data firms, namely Sentiment, Into the Block, and Crypto Quant, show heightened levels of whale exchange inflows. Whales selling right under Bitcoin's all-time high, particularly when the market sentiment was overly euphoric, led to a massive drop. Some exchanges like Binance, as an example, recorded 400 million worth of liquidations within merely several hours. Like, whoa, right? According to sentiment, whales sold quickly after Bitcoin surpassed 19,300. Many of these high net worth individuals sold so aggressively that they're no longer in the whale category of holding over 1,000 BTC. The over leveraged derivatives market started crashing as soon as the price of Bitcoin saw a relatively minor drop. Now, eventually, Bitcoin dropped to as low as 16,200 on major exchanges before bouncing back. Now, analysts at Sentiment shared the following: Bitcoin whales with 1,000 or more Bitcoin held, currently worth about $16.7 million, sold off nearly immediately after the 19,300 price top 2 days ago. 11 of these whales actually sold off enough to no longer be in the 1,000 plus Bitcoin whale category, just as prices peaked. Interesting, right? Now, researchers at Into the Block spotted a similar trend. The drop in the price of Bitcoin matched the moment when whales transferred 93,000 Bitcoin into exchanges. When the price of Bitcoin was at the yearly peak, 93,000 Bitcoin were worth $1.8 billion, as you can see in their tweet right here on crypto Twitter. Whales have been moving Bitcoin into exchanges. Bitcoin has faced a steep correction since Wednesday's highs of 19,600. This drop started as soon as the whales began to deposit Bitcoin into the exchanges. More than 93,000 Bitcoins were deposited into centralized exchanges. Now, subsequent to the rapid crash of the Bitcoin futures market, the outlook on Bitcoin from traders and analysts remains divided. Some believe that Bitcoin is headed for a deeper pullback, possibly to the $13,800 support level. Others, however, say that buyers now have the incentive to bring Bitcoin above $18,000 to tap the liquidity above. All right, now for the bearish case for Bitcoin in the near term, which mainly revolves around two things. First, during the previous bull markets, Bitcoin historically dropped 30% or more before seeing a continuation of the rally. If Bitcoin sees a similar trend, that would mean a drop to at least $14,500. Second, short-term investor activity is increasing as the price of Bitcoin consolidates. In the past, a spike in the number of young addresses marked a bearish trend. Now, crypto trader and technical analyst Edward Mora emphasized that previous bull markets saw multiple corrections that were even more severe, such as by 30 to 40%. Furthermore, the trader said that the Fibonacci sequence level is 13,500. So based on the combination of these two data points, Mora explains that a drop to 13,500 would be a fantastic opportunity. He shared the following: assuming we're in a bull market, we have 0.618 Fibonacci, usually a fantastic buy opportunity. Let's take a look at the period of mid-2015 to late 2017. 6 out of the 7 pullbacks had landed at the 0.618 Fibonacci. All dips were 30 to 40%. Currently, the 0.6 Fibonacci level is around 13,500. That would be a fantastic buying opportunity if it happens. We already had some mini versions of that earlier this year, which corrected to the 0.6 Fibonacci too. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for, and I'm not talking about Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. duking it out this evening. How many of you are going to be tuned in? I'm talking about the bullish case for Bitcoin. But hey, I'm going to be tuned in. I love fighting, especially when you got two legends, even though they're now in their 50s and it's probably not in their best interest. It's definitely not the healthiest thing to be doing. I'm still going to be tuned in because, hey, they're legendary and they were both role models of mine growing up. So just saying. But anyways, back to Bitcoin. Nevertheless, the market sentiment around Bitcoin remains generally bullish. Many analysts that anticipate Bitcoin to fall in the near term still expect the dominant crypto to hit an all-time high by the year's end. I'm one of those guys. Now, considering this, some traders are also optimistic about the short-term price trend of Bitcoin. A pseudonymous trader known as Badazine General noted that the liquidity for Bitcoin is now in the $17,500 to $19,000 range. Liquidity emerges when traders in the futures market sway to one side of the market. Now, since the liquidity is higher up, it indicates that traders are likely shorting BTC, and the liquidation prices of over-leveraged shorts are located around $18,000, as you can see right here on your screen. Former credit banker Myra Cristanto added that the medium to long-term outlook for Bitcoin remains strong. She pinpointed the Bitcoin difficulty ribbon indicator, as you can see right here on your screen, which suggests the price of Bitcoin has been suppressed for a long time. The indicator signifies that an acceleration of mining difficulty, which is seen in 2013 and 2016, marked the start of the bull cycles. That's right. So as you can see, we do still have a lot of upside potential to reach this all-time high before the end of the year. Now for the biggest variable, which is stablecoin inflows, well, exchange deposits have continuously remained high throughout November, which was the main source of selling pressure. But one variable that could offset the sell-off from whales is stablecoin inflows. In the latest note to its clients, data analytics firm CryptoQuant said that the number of stablecoins deposited into exchanges rose sharply in the recent months. That's right. For the rally of Bitcoin to continue in the near term, two main factors are critical. Bitcoin needs to stay above that $16,200 support region. Once again, we're currently above $17,200, so currently we're looking pretty good, which it has defended so far with a strong reaction from the market. It would also need to see a higher stablecoin inflow in the next several days, which would indicate that sideline capital is returning to the market. The note read the following: over the last few months, the amount of stablecoins that have been deposited onto exchanges has risen sharply. This had resulted in selling pressure decreasing since the end of September and staying low. Currently, the sell pressure is increasing slightly. This could indicate a correction, but with the exchange whale ratio remaining low, it seems that it won't be large. Analysts utilizing CryptoQuant tools looking at the long-term outlook are anticipating Bitcoin to reach and pass the previous high of $20,000. Let me know your thoughts. Do you feel Bitcoin is likely to crush that 20K all-time high, reclaiming this price discovery mode before the end of the year? Let me know. Now for a quick recap of what I covered with you right here in today's show. Institutional money may propel Bitcoin to $250,000 in 1 year's time, says macro investor Raoul Pal. He says Bitcoin may hit 150,000 by November 2021. And he also says this would be his most conservative scenario. Powell believes that Bitcoin could even reach 250,000 due to the large amount of institutional money currently flowing into the Bitcoin market. And as rich dad Robert Kiyosaki points out, that Raoul Pal, the CEO of Real Vision, called for Bitcoin to hit 1 million by 2025. If Raoul was not so credible, I would not pay much attention to his predictions, but he also calls for gold to hit 5,000 in the same period, which is good news for gold, silver, and Bitcoin, and bad news for the world economy. Also in today's show, as I pointed out, Bloomberg lists 5 bullish trends for Bitcoin's price despite the recent Thanksgiving crash, and we also did some Bitcoin technical analysis as Bitcoin analysts explain what's next in the aftermath of Bitcoin plunging to 16,200. I broke down both the bullish and bearish case scenario. So where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go from here? Drop me a comment right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right. And turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, including weekends, just like this. And real quick, before I go, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below the video in the description. You'll be glad you did, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.